Okay, so it's Wednesday at 9:30, and my two bikes are over here. I'm going to cover them up again. I have all the parts for Fred, and Beauty is waiting on one small oil seal. My good buddy Richard, my good buddy Roger, brought this yellow Norton up here. It's been sitting a year or so, and he can't seem to get it to run. It pops and spits, etc., etc., etc. So I'm going to get it started for him. And let's see, the seat and side cover are up there on the shelf. So I've got the whole bike. And what I'll do first is I'll pull the plugs out and put the plugs on the side of the head and kick it over and check for spark. And actually, if during the daylight don't see it, I will use my little, let's say fluorescent, but it's not fluorescent, my little spark checker right here, and see if I have spark on both sides. Probably do, because he says it is trying to start. Then I'll drop the bottoms off the carb, clean them out, double check the pilot jets, and see if it won't run. It's got fresh gas, fresh oil in it, and let's see if we can find something interesting. Okay, so I got two brand new spark plugs here. This is my spark tester. I'll show you how it works. I'm going to test the gas flow from the petcocks by disconnecting here and just letting some gas flow. But before I do that, I want to check the spark, because I don't want to check the spark after I've got gas laying in a rag on the bike. So I'm going to set it up now for a quick spark check. Okay, here's the test setup. You take the spark plug wire and you connect it to the flasher. I can't remember the name. Fluorescent? It's not fluorescent. Anyway, the flasher, and down to the spark plug. The spark plug is carefully grounded to the engine, so you can see spark down here, and if you're seeing spark down here, you'll see spark up here. So what I'm going to do, since it's daylight and you really can't see spark at the spark plug, is I'm going to zoom in on this with spark plugs out. Now this is a electronic ignition bike, so when I turn the ignition on and off, you might get a spark right there. Let's take a look and see if we do. Not that I can see. So I'm going to turn the just ignition only. Let's go over here and kick on it and see if we see any spark. Oh yeah, that's good healthy spark. Okay, yeah, I'm sure you can see that. Please tell me you can see that. Okay, so let's set this up and do the other side. Okay, so here's the test setup on the left side of the bike. Spark plug wire going to neon, going to, yeah, it's a neon light bulb. Up to the spark plug and spark plug to ground. So I'm going to zoom in on it. And if we have spark over here, you should see it right there. I can't see it from the other side of the bike, but you'll be able to see it over here. Oh yeah, I could actually see it from the other side of the bike. So we got good spark, even on kickover. So that's probably not the problem. So I'm going to do a little carburetor check now. All right, let's see if the left petcock is flowing gasoline. And yeah, it is. Okay. You'll have to trust me here. I'm going to go over and check the other side. Well, I'll take you with me. What the heck? All right, here we go. Make sure that the right petcock is flowing gasoline. And a lot more than the left side. Did you see that pouring out of there? That's a nice pour. The left side's a little slower than the right side. Let's go back over there. No, it's okay. Never mind. So petcocks are flowing gas just fine. Let that dry. Okay, so we've got gas flow okay. Gas flow check okay. I'm going to drop these bowls off. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to take my special modified little screwdriver. I can never find, there it is. This is a screwdriver that I cut this much off of. All this part of the handle, that's gone. I just cut it off, kept it off, leaving the handle a little bit inside here. Then I cut the big part of this handle off, and then I dished it right down to almost where the metal is. So this way I can put my finger underneath and spin this screwdriver, putting float bowls on and off. It's really handy. Okay, so we have a full float bowl. That's good. That means it was getting plenty of gas. Okay, we'll check the float height. That seems fine too. So nothing wrong with the float bowl on this side. Let's get the other one off. Oh, come on, that's not the screw holding it in place. Feels like it's about a 6-inch screw over here. There, finally. Okay. Once again, it's full of gas. And once again, let's check the float level. Float level looks fine. I don't even know if that video is running. Yeah, it is. All right, we'll stop for a minute while I take a look at something else. All right, so I've got the jets out of the jet blocks out. They're dirty but not clogged. All these bits and pieces, there's not a problem with them. This is cracked. I'll put in a new one. Um, like I say, the jet blocks are dirty but not clogged. The bowls are clean. Um, they're using copper washers on here instead of fiber, but that's okay by me. So I'm going to spend some time polishing all of these bits and pieces and then come back to you. And these are a little corroded, but they were working just fine. So I like to clean things, so I'm going to clean all this and come back. Now, in the meantime, back at the ranch over here, I put this Pilot Jet cleaner in here, and the Pilot Jet is completely occluded. I just now broke through. So I'm going to clean this Pilot Jet. This is the little cleaner I buy. Several different people have them. Classic British Spares has them. Uh, Basically, everybody's got them. They're expensive. They're about 15 bucks. They come in a card like this. As you can see, I stock them. Here's what they look like, and they're worth their weight in gold. So I don't even know. Oh, I got these from Low Barrel Customs. Everybody stocks them. So I'm going to take this over to the other side now and clean these Pilot Jets and see what they feel like. You got to go through here all the way in and feel gently, gently, gently until you get to the Pilot Jet itself. When you break through, like I just broke through, broke broke through the corrosion, and now it's free. I'm going to shoot some carb cleaner here through here to rinse it. What's nice about these is they're actually a little drill bit on the end, and so the edges of the drill bit act like a very fine file and clean the corrosion off the jet just beautifully. But you got to find around until you actually find the jet and slip through the center, and like that. Now you can clean it. Okay, and it's about that far in, which would be about an inch and a half. So let's go back and double check this one. We'll shoot some carb cleaner through it, and then I will clean up all those other parts and put these carburetors back together. See me feeling? There, keep going, keep going. There, now I broke through. I can actually feel it. You can actually feel the corrosion when you're cleaning it. You keep doing this on the sides of the little jet until you feel it free up like that. When it goes through really easy like this, you've cleaned it out. So now I'm going to spray a little cleaner through it. One-handed. Okay. Now I'm going to clean all this stuff and then put all this back together and try to start the bike. Okay, so I've got all these parts cleaned up, ready to go back together. Everything's nice and shiny, bright, and pretty as a new penny, as they used to say in the olden days. So that guy's all cleaned up. Let's talk about these banjo bolts. Since I'm going to be making new fuel lines. Anyway, I'm going to cut these out, and I'm going to tell you some very, very, very important information about these banjo bolts. So stand by while I take this thing apart, and then we'll talk about banjo bolts. By the way, if you've ever wondered if there's an easy way to take these crimp-on connectors off, these clamps, yeah, there is. Let me see if I can do this without getting in my own way. Just get in here and grab the little hook that's holding it together. And see, try to keep it in the viewfinder, Frank. Do that, and then just peel it off. Let me zoom out a little bit and do another one, because I keep getting out of the viewfinder. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out some and do this one here. Actually, I've already done that one there. Just going to pull him off. Like so. Let's go over and do this guy. Once again, just come onto the edge like that. And it will peel up, and then you can pull it out and it comes off. So they're pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. It takes a sharp little pair of cutting pliers. They come off just fine, thank you very much. Okay? Okay, so I've cleaned up all of the shiny parts. They're all nice and shiny, bright, clean. Oh, I love shiny, bright parts. I even buffed the banjo bolts. But banjo bolts, buffing them and cleaning them is not good enough. What happens is this area here gets squished. You can actually see it a lot better on this one, because they look like they're made out of metal, but actually I think they're made out of cheese, and they don't hold up very well. So when they get tightened, this area gets depressed. When it gets depressed, it gets sad. When it gets sad, it wants to give up life. Never mind, I digress. This guy has to be flat in order for these little bitty washers to do any good. Okay? In this case, this is a copper washer. Normally it's a little red fiber washer. I have some of those. I could use them, but I'm going to stay with the copper because I think they're cool. But anyway, this surface has to be flat. And while you're at it, hit this one a lick too. So I'm going to zoom in here now. Here I go, zooming onto a flat file. I'm going to take this worst one and try to clean up the turning it just a little bit. Getting down there. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm just about there. To me, this is good. Okay, I'm okay with that. See how flat it is? That'll give you much better surface for the little washer that goes there. Something else, if this bolt does not go into the banjo smoothly and happily, but sort of binds up like this, don't go to put it together, because these bolts love to cross thread. And if there's any kind of friction here stopping you from turning it easy, it'll help itself get cross threaded. So if it doesn't slide in perfectly and smoothly, so if you have tapered reamers, do it this way. Oh, look at that. That is so nice. So now you have a nice flat surface here. Have the hole so that it fits the bolt beautifully. Last thing to do is take this side and hit it on the file just a couple of times. They usually don't get out of flat very much. So you can see right here, it's slightly out of flats. You can see it's not shiny all the way around. More than adequate, but just hit it a couple of times. Okay. I would say that every machinist out there watching this is appalled. But it works. Nice flat surface, nice flat surface, nice big hole, and you have just cleaned up your banjo bolt so that it's ready to go back on the carb. Okay, I'm going to do this one next. It's not as bad. You can fast forward from here if you want. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so I've cleaned up the banjo bolts so that they should go on smoothly and seal nicely with nice flat surfaces. Okay, I'm going to put these carbs together now. Okay, I'm going to back up for just a moment to tell you something I forgot to remember. I take a Q-tip and some very fine valve lapping compound, get a little bit on here, put it in here, and clean the seat of the gas needle valve. So I just clean all this. So if there's any oxide in there, that takes care of that. Okay, one other thing that I've decided I'm going to do before I put all this together. I wasn't going to do it, but then I had a change of heart. I am going to do it. I'm going to pull the tops off the carburetors and clean the needle jet needle. It's got some corrosion on it, and I'm going to see if I can focus down. So I'm going to clean it. So I'm going to take the top off the carbs. I'm going to take the gas tank off the bike, carb tops off the carbs, take the slides out of the carbs, and clean the slide and the throat and the needle jet needle. Okay, I got the tank off the bike and safely ensconced over there on top of the cooler, way far away from the workbench. Rule number one around here is no painted parts on the workbench. I have a couple of horror stories that I could tell you about putting painted parts on the workbench. So if you ever want to be horribilized, let me know and I'll tell you these horrible, boy did I mess up, stories about putting painted parts on the workbench. Once again, on Norton is getting the lid off isn't that bad once you take the tank out of the way. Slides nice. This feels a little weird, like it's at an angle. Let's take that apart, see what happens. Well, it's not bent. It is a tad bit, here's my hand. It's a tad bit corroded, but it's not bent. Maybe it's just the way the spring was sitting on the clip. Clips in the center position. All right, well, I'll clean it. Slide's in good shape. Let's do the other side. Okay, this one feels good. Nice and dangly, nice and loose. Slide looks good. Needle jet is dirty but straight, not bent. But this is where I do something else. I make sure that it's got the same needle jet in both carbs. I ran across a bike recently. A client said he found two different needle jets in his bike. Okay, so this is a, take a look at the top. Let's see if this will focus down. Focus. No. Focus, focus, focus. Focus, focus, focus. It's a two ring up at the top. This is a two ring up at the top. And they are both in the center position. And they both appear to be the same length. So, other than being a little dirty, they're fine. I'm going to put them back in the bike. All right. Slide, slides beautifully. I get the little notch in the little hole. Very nice. To the other side. Make sure that it slides gently. And it does very nicely. Okay, I'm going to put the bike back together now. Let's put these, whoops, I'm going to go clean these jet needles. I'll be right back. All right, these are nice and clean now. And this is a real good opportunity while you got them in your hands to run your fingers up and down them like this. And if there's a worn spot, you can feel sort of like a wasp waist right here. That means they've been rattling around the needle jet long enough to be slightly worn. And so that's a good opportunity to say, let's get some new ones. These are not worn. They're nice and linear all the way down. I'm perfectly happy with them. They're going to go back in the bike. Okay? Don't let the spring slam down. It may land on top of the needle and push it down. We do the other side now. And while we're talking about it, don't force this on. If it doesn't slide down, something's not lined up. So put it in here gently, line it up, and move it up and down until you feel the needle drop into the needle jet. And if you don't, then you're going to have to take it apart. But right about here somewhere. There, you just fill in. Okay? Don't force it. If you force it, you're going to bend the needle, or you're going to break it out of the clip, or all sorts of something stupid. So now, right now, you can see how it slides up and down nicely. Okay? All right, so let's put the top back on. All right. Good snap. Okay, so where were we before? Let's put all this stuff. It's around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Let's put all that stuff back in the carburetors, put them back together, and at that point in time, we should be close to doing a start. So let's turn this around. Put it up here, and you can watch me dress out a carburetor. And I'll try to keep my arm out of the way. Ho, ho, ho. Let's check something here. If these screws don't go through the ears on the float bowls, it's an opportunity to do the same thing to these little holes here as you did to the banjos. Let's clean out these holes just a little bit so these screws slide in nicely. I'm going to use the same reamer. Can you see what I see? Where am I? Up here. I'm just going to ream out these holes just a little bit to get the smushed part out, because these edges get smushed when people over tighten the Phillips screws. Well, that's so much nicer. See that? No conflict, no grief, all joy. Now I just discovered that there are 3 identical and 1 short. I don't think it has anything to do with these tops because they come off separately. So I'm going to see if I have a 4th one the same length as these. I'll be back in just a minute. And I do have a 4th one in my parts. So now we have 4 all the same length. Well, I apparently left the video running for the last 20 some odd minutes. So that'll be interesting editing tonight. So anyway, I've got the crossover pipe in place on the gas lines and bolted down tight. I'm going to show you how I like this small diameter gas line. I think it looks really good. And people say, well, does it flow enough gas, Frank? I mean, it's a small hole. That's true, but remember that the hole in the bottom of the bowl that the gas valve in here controls is the size of a BB. It's half the size of this. So yeah, these flow plenty. Now the biggest problem if you're using banjo bolts that have a big bigger diameter than the inside diameter of this, is getting this over it. What I do is a two-step process. I take a pair of long nose pliers and put a little oil on the tip of it. That's nice, like that. And then I take my heat gun. I warm up the end of the tubing a little bit. Put the oily long nose in there, needle nose in there. Spread it out a little bit, and it slips right on. This side is smaller, so it probably doesn't need any help. And it's a little long, so I'm going to just cut it off just a little bit. Now, once again, if you saw yesterday's video, you understand why there is no inline filter. As I explained yesterday, I don't like them. So you got a filter in the gas tank, you got a filter in the bottom of the carburetor. Putting the filter in the middle of it is, in my humble opinion, not a big advantage. So I don't use them anymore. I'm using these antique style screw-on clamps because I've used up all my crimp-ons. And what can I say? So I'm using these. I just put in an order for 100 more of every style, every size crimp-on clamps that I stock, but I haven't received them yet. So I'll do these. There we go. Let's go to the other side. All right, so let's see. I guess I should bring you guys along. Let's go to this side and do the same thing again. Let's warm this up. Spread it a little bit with the oily needle nose. Slide it on. Okay. And there you go. Bob's your uncle. All right. Let's turn on the gasoline and see if we have any leaks. Both petcocks on. Let's eyeball. Okay, we got a pouring leak on that side. Where is it coming from? We have a runaway needle valve, gas needle. All right. Well, I guess I get to drop that down and take a look at it. Let's do the old knock on the bowl trick. All right, that seems to have stopped that. We'll check it a couple times before we release the bike. It was just the little needle valve was stuck. Let's see what happens if I tickle it a little bit, whether or not it reseals. Nope, still leaking. Until I do that. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Okay. Nope. As soon as I activate it, it keeps leaking. All right, I'm going to drop the bowls off. And I will be back. All right, here's the bowl off that right-hand carburetor. I see nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. I'm going to take it apart, clean it out. Everything seems okay. I don't know why she swallowed that fly. Perhaps she'll leak. I mean, seriously, that's perfect. Okay, let's go over to the bench and see if we can see something. Now, the gas wasn't just leaking out of there, it was gushing out of there. As if this were not sealing at all. I don't see anything wrong with this guy. I don't see anything wrong in there. Heck, even you can see through the hole. Hmm. That's certainly loose enough. That fits in there nicely. I have seen where the gasket right here or here has moved far enough forward to actually conflict with the float right there. So I'm going to carve this away just a little bit, just to make a larger area right here on both sides. I don't know why she swallowed that line. How she swallowed that line. Not sure how I'm going to do that without breaking this perfectly good. Perfectly good gasket. Let's see if I can file it. Let's see if I can file down this face just a little bit. And while we're filing, let's file this face just a little bit. And maybe this corner. All right, so you can see that this side is a little bit narrower than this side, so let's do this side now. This is called grasping at straws. I don't see anything wrong in here, so now I'm just theorizing. That's a little narrower. Let's see what it looks like. I don't see how there could be any conflict. I just don't. I'm going to take a little bit of bowl material off right here. Grasping at straws. It'll be interesting to see. I'm going to put this thing back together with all the same parts. I'm not even going to change out the gas needle, which is the only part that I could change out with any confidence. I'm going to put it back together using all the same parts. Maybe I'll be wasting my time, but I'm going to do it. Let's take this guy and just smooth out his little skids. These are the things that center it in the brass fitting. I'm going to clean this seat one more time. I'm also cleaning the sides, not just the bottom. Make this thing as smooth as possible. Okay, that's I'm going to put it back together, and I'll bet you a buck it doesn't leak. And I'll bet you a buck nothing I did here has actually solved the problem. Whatever the problem was, it probably just magically went away. Let's double check the float height. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Perfect gap right there. Okay, let's put it back on the bike and see what happens. Now, if it leaks, I'll change out the gas needle. I'm only putting this back together because I think that there was nothing wrong. It was serendipity. I don't know what I messed up, but what can I say? I'm going to try it anyway. Just try the same parts over again. Yes, sir. Good God. Ay, vey. I stripped this thing out. What? Okay. Well, goodness gracious, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been working on this thing since 9:30, and this side is no longer leaking. That's the good news. I can get a good tickle out of there, and then it stops. So that's okay. And now if I just go over to this side and check it out, get a nice little tickle here, and now this side's running away. So quite frankly, I started here at 9:30 this morning, and like I say, it's 2 o'clock now, and my fun meter is pegged. This has stopped being fun, so I've turned off the gas, and I'm going to call it a day and come back to this tomorrow. The fun part is when you go to take these float bowls off, you have to take off the complete gas system, both banjos. It's just a pain. It's just a pain. So I'm tired, and I'm going to call it a day, and we'll do more tomorrow.